to send Donald Trump back to the White House. Now, I have bad news for Schumer and Pelosi and Nadler and Omar and Schiff. Because New York is sending Donald Trump back with a Republican Congress to work with. New York was a battleground in 2022, and New York is a battleground again in 2024. We've lived through one-party Democrat rule, and it was a disaster. They gave us a broken economy, a broken border, a broken world. So our message to Kamala Harris and the far-left Democrats is that we are unburdened by what has been. And we are not going back. We are not going back. Not going back to one-party Democrat rule. Now, this is something that's pretty telling, I think. Donald Trump wants to talk about his record during his 4 years in the White House. Kamala Harris wants us to forget about the last few years. Kamala Harris talks about her day one being January of 2025. No, her day one was 3.5 years ago. And when Kamala Harris says she's gonna do this, and Kamala Harris says she's gonna do that, the rest of us in America say, why the heck have you not done any of it by now? Now, we're not just voting against Kamala Harris. We're voting for a strong economy. We're voting for a secure border and safe streets. We are voting for a military focused on defending America instead of being the world's biggest social experiment. We're voting for a president who ends foreign wars instead of starting new ones. We're voting to save America, and that's why we're voting for Donald J. Trump. Now, I want to say to my fellow New Yorkers that when we go to vote, it's also important to vote against Prop 1, which is going to be on the ballot. It's because I don't believe that boys should be able to compete in girls' sports. It's because I don't believe that males should be able to access female bathrooms and locker rooms. Because I don't believe that non-citizens should ever be given the right to vote. And we don't ever want New York to be a sanctuary state for criminal illegal aliens. There are endless reasons why the Democrats are trying to put their entire far-left agenda into the New York State Constitution, and that is why we need to stop the far-left Prop 1 and vote no. Everything is on the line. We're less than 50 days to go before this important election. Everything we want for our Constitution, for our freedom, for our veterans, our law enforcement, our flag, it's all on the line. We have someone who we want to stand on his shoulders and send him to the White House, but in order for him to get there, he's going to have to stand on our shoulders. Can Donald Trump count on Long Island? We're supporting the candidate who the other side keeps trying to kill. That's our president. We're supporting the candidate they're trying to lock up for the rest of his life. We're supporting the man who's been through so much, who is going to be bankrupt if they keep on with what they are pissing the rest of America off with. We want a secure border, we want safe streets, we want a stronger economy. So what we commit to do between now and November 5th, taking absolutely nothing for granted, is that we are going to expand the Republican majority in the United States Congress. We're going to take Chuck Schumer from majority leader to minority leader. We're sending a Republican majority to the United States Senate. And we are all in behind our man, the person who is up for this job, who didn't have to run again, but he wants to put us on his back. He wants to put America's future and our kids on his back. Everything is on the line. We're not going to come up short. On November 5th, we'll be watching Kamala Harris delivering a concession speech. And we will be in for the greatest night of TV again, when Donald Trump and J.D. Vance take that stage to give a victory speech, not for them, but for America. It's all on the line. We stand with them. They stand with us. We are going to save this country and send Donald Trump back to the White House.